We're going to bring you a brief conversation recorded before the concert. I hope you'll enjoy the opportunity to hear the voice of our soloist, Arnold Steinhardt. Arnold, welcome to Detroit and to our microphone.
Thank you very much, Les. It's a pleasure to be here.
I imagine that the highlight of your career so far must have been last year when you won the Leventrit competition.
It certainly was a wonderful thing.
I wonder if you'd tell us a little about the proceedings in a major contest such as the Leventrit.
Well, this competition is held once a year, and although it was held this year only for string players, many years it's held for pianists, and every 4 or 5 only it is held for string players. And each entry is required to play representative works from the different periods of musical literature.
I see. It isn't just one piece that you play.
Oh, no. I prepared something like 2.5 hours of different compositions.
I see. And did they then call for what they wanted to hear, the judges?
Yes. You could start with whatever piece you wished, and then after that it was up to the judge's discretion to pick the different things that you had on your list of prepared pieces.
I see. I imagine there was some pretty furious preparation.
Yes,
practicing.
It certainly was very exciting, too.
I think many of us would be interested in the sort of life a young artist leads. You began your studies early, I presume.
Yes, I'm from Los Angeles, and I had all my musical training till the time I graduated from high school there.
I see.
And from that day, I went to the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia, where I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship. And I was there for 5 years, studying under Ivan Galamian. And I just graduated this last May.
Is there time for you to have a life outside of music? Do you have any other interests?
Oh, certainly lots of interests. Reading and sports, and just having a good time in general.
I have been curious about your violin. Do you play a special instrument?
Well, it's an Italian violin called a Presenda, and this particular instrument of his that I'm playing was made in 1823.
I see. What about this Mendelssohn Concerto that you're playing at this concert? Does it have any special significance for you?
Well, it's one of my favorites, and it has been ever since as a young child I used to listen to it, and I'm very happy to be able to play it with the Detroit Symphony.
Do you have any plans after this concert?
Well, to continue concertizing, I hope. That's my most important goal, I would imagine. Musically.
Well, you have several other appearances to make on the Leventrit circuit, don't you?
Yes, well, I've appeared with all the major orchestras on the circuit except for Pittsburgh, and that will come shortly after my engagement here.
There is something in Cleveland.
Yes,
that's new this year.
This year I've become the assistant concertmaster of the orchestra.
Very good, under Mr. Sell.
That's correct.
Mr. Steinhardt, it's been a great pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thank you, Les. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Arnold Steinhardt, who makes his Detroit debut with his performance of the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto, is 22 years old. He was born in Los Angeles, made his official debut with that city's symphony orchestra at the age of 14. At 17, he accepted a scholarship to study at the Curtis Institute. Last year, he won the Philadelphia Youth Audition and appeared with the Philadelphia Orchestra. He also participated last year in the Casals Festival at San Juan, Puerto Rico. Unquestionably, the highlight of his activities last year was the winning of the 19th Annual International Leventrit Competition, the most highly prized award in this country. In 20 years, only 14 award winners have been selected. The contest last year was limited to string players and was judged by a distinguished jury in New York's Town Hall. Mr. Steinhardt won on a unanimous vote and gained the opportunity to appear with the Detroit Symphony as well as 5 other ranking American orchestras, including the New York Philharmonic, the Buffalo Philharmonic, and the orchestras of Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Denver. We have just learned that Mr. Steinhardt has an unusually distinguished audience, more distinguished perhaps than he realizes, because Jack Benny, who was in Detroit to appear with the Detroit Symphony in a benefit concert, is in the audience, and with him is the renowned violinist Isaac Stern. who is in Detroit for an appearance on another concert series. Mr. Steinhardt, Mr. Paray have walked to center stage now, and they are ready to begin the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto in E minor. That was the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto in E minor, played by Arnold Steinhardt with the Detroit Symphony under Paul Paray's direction. Our soloist, a tall, rangy young man, slender, full, dark, wavy hair, and Maestro Paray, walked to the wings of the east side of the stage. The violinist returns now for a bow. Acknowledges the response of the audience and the members of the orchestra. Now conductor and violinist. The venerable Mr. Paray, the 22-year-old Mr. Steinhardt, walk to the stage together, shake hands, Mr. Paray smiling broadly. Mr. Steinhardt is a wonderfully poised artist on stage, completely in command of himself and his instrument. Again, at the audience's insistence, Mr. Steinhardt returns to the stage.